Aw yeah, it's time for River City Ransom! Released in 1989 for Japanese and American audiences by the Technos Corporation, River City Ransom is the first true sequel to Renegade, or Neketsuko ha kunio-kun, which you can learn about by clicking here. It is also the first game to be released to home consoles, the Nintendo Entertainment System and the Nintendo Famicom, which is of course the Japanese version of the NES to be specific. No, I'm not counting the ZX Spectrum as a home console. For the Specky is a home computer, and being that it's British, I couldn't get the thing to run unless I was eating organ meats and cross-dressing simultaneously. So the Japanese version, Downtown Neketsu Monogatari, translating roughly to Downtown Hot-Blooded Story, is largely identical to the American one, besides a few aesthetic differences. In the Japanese game, of course, everybody wears a school uniform. Americans don't wear school uniforms, goddammit, and that's why we're number one. Oh god, I can't even say that with a straight face. The names of the characters are different, and the Zombies gang is named the Four Kings of Heaven in the Japanese version, because in this game about little rectangle people beating each other up, I expect references to Zen Buddhism. I'll just come out and say it. I am a huge fan of River City Ransom. It got me into this franchise. And I may or may not have written a script for a film adaptation of this game when I was 15 years old. So this is the plot of the game. Meet my demands or else. Notice that there are no demands given. Looks like we're taking the or else option. Starting in Crosstown High, the mission of the game is to make it across town to the River City High School and save the day, while beating up literally everybody else in the city and eating prodigious amounts of hamburgers along the way. Our heroes are Alex and Ryan. Fun fact, the girl who has been kidnapped is Ryan's girlfriend. As for why Alex is tagging along, in that script I may have written, I wrote Alex as a teenage sociopath who dedicates his life to wanton brawling. And that's probably the only option I could tell you that won't get this video flagged for adult content. Alex and Ryan are equipped with the only moves you need: punches, kicks, jumping, jump kicks, weapon swinging, weapon throwing, and the ability to pick up and throw the shattered corpses of your foes. You had the standard variety of weapons an American teenager would have had in a small 1980s town. Crates, tires, chains, sticks, lead pipes, rocks, and brass knuckles. Word of advice, don't use the rock. Let's talk about your opponents. They are the various gangs of the city, and I mean various in both ways. You have the generic guys, who are apparently a family operation of petty crime, judging by their matching names. The frat guys, none of whom are named Chad, shockingly, and yet Technos was very prescient in noting that they will all be wearing totally queer pink shirts. The jocks, whom the manual notes are all the team bench warmers, so therefore they're using violence as an outlet for their impotent masculinity. The homeboys, who are stated to be couch potatoes, so they are literal home boys. The squids, aka the nerds. And then the Mafia, the Internationals, the Cowboys, the Zombies, and the Plague in order of increasing ridiculousness. Each gang has different statistics, none of which I actually know, so deal with it. Also, each member of each gang will drop money upon his defeat, and again, each gang drops different amounts of money, as do the mini-bosses. So what do you use the money for? Statistical increases, in the form of eating enormous amounts of hastily prepared slop, which you can buy in the neutral zones, the malls. And yes, this game was one of the first games to combine simple action gameplay with role-playing elements. Graphics-wise, you can tell what everything is at the very least. And the game does seem to have a bit of a charm with its little rectangle people and its graphical quirks, like how eating the food in the restaurant shows you eating the silverware as well. The music? There's about 7 tracks, one of which is just the Double Dragon theme, but they are some really good tracks. controls, airtight. You can do basically anything your violent little heart could desire. You want to unleash your inner Ramon Deckers with blitzing punch and kick combos? Do it. You want to render a comatose man with another comatose man? Do it. You want to merrily skip along with flying sidekicks? Do it. You want to start the unicycle fad 20 years early? And yeah, that was a thing a few years ago. Well, you can do that too. Alright, I've said enough about the technicals of this game. The seamlessly connected, prototypical open world of this game beckons me, beckoning me like a Gallic maid on the French Riviera, and I must nestle in River City Ransom's soft and inviting bosom. The game seems linear at first. You brawl through Crosstown High and Sticksville before you come to Grotto Mall. Much like Switzerland, the malls are a neutral zone where nobody fights and you can watch the passerby, like these women in skirts and these horrifying children in short pants. And most importantly, you can buy stuff, because as I've been lectured repeatedly, that's apparently what America's all about. And oh, the things you can buy. Mainly food and books. Also CDs. Yeah, more on that in a bit. Then we go to Sherman Park. Apparently this park consists of 2 bathrooms. I've seen worse public parks. It's in the construction site that you meet the first boss, Moose.
Stay out of Riverdale.
And much like Fable, you can be the knight in shining armor, or a rogue. And by that, I mean you can either let him talk, or just run up and start jacking him in the head before he finishes talking. You can do this for all bosses, and it does let you get a few extra hits in, although it is rather dishonorable. But seeing as the game does not actually have a karma system, there are no repercussions for this underhanded action at all. Well, Alex has already spent more time shopping than I ever care to. Alright, it's time for a touch of class. Let's go to the bookstore. Indian lore. When Pajit finds a street, poo in it. I'm sorry, that was rude of me. Shea Wally has some excellent food. I would like a salad. Personally, I like the plate the best. But enough of that frou-frou French crap. It's time to get some American boigas at the best place in this game. I don't have enough money for anything but the smile, but that suits me just fine, because seeing that girl unhinge her mandible puts me at a semi. Roxy doesn't bother with pronouns. So Ryan's girlfriend is named Cindy, spelled C-Y-N-D-I, because...
It's the 80s, do a lot of coke and vote for Ronald Reagan.
Ah yes, the far right room. It's that room in the high school that's just wall-to-wall Nietzsche and Evola and Carlyle. Oh, I want to help Alex, but damn it, Slick is just so dark and brooding. I have to keep trying to change him. I apologize for the fake woman's voice. Anyway, stepping onto the bridge, you encounter an optional boss fight, and the innovations just keep rolling in. The manual says Benny and Clyde are actually from out of town and they're just spoiling for a fight. Some might say they're cruising. In my illustrious River City Ransom script, I may have written these two as a gay couple. I'll let you draw your own conclusions. Fate draws us to the WSL Corporation warehouse. What is WSL? Nobody knows, but apparently they're run by the Mafia, the high school Mafia. Does the Mafia have a teenage auxiliary program? Anyway, you fight another boss, Rocco. He's substantially tougher than Moose, but your stats alone should be enough for him provided you've been diligently eating your fast food. However, getting to him means you're likely low on health. I survived Rocco, but if Heifer and Filbert show up, I'm a dead man. Better go back to the mall and heal up. Doh! Yeah, you can die from self-inflicted wall damage. But that's okay because you have a password system. No. So anyway, I got back here by completely legitimate means. I now have $27.75 and it's time to clean house at Merv's. Yeah, I'd like a cheese Merv, a Mondo Merv, and your phone number, little lady. And upon being rejected, Alex drowns his romantic failure in grease and processed cheese. Going back to Sherman Park, we meet Blade, the first of the zombies. I would allow him to introduce himself, but beating him into remedial classes is much more fun. As a side note, I really do love those "I've lost 15 IQ points" facial expressions. After we beat Blade, we come to this place with a giant gate. I don't know what it is. And the second zombie does not come out of the gate, it just comes out of the footpath. Party time? Well, okay, as long as you don't bring that damn rapping dog. After beating Turk, you're immediately put into a fight with the third zombie, Mojo. To see Thor, you gotta beat all the zombies. Well, I certainly don't want to see Thor as the comic is written now. I get enough third-wave feminism from college, thank you very much. I don't know what any of those toys do, and I'll be damned if I'm gonna level grind in this game. Upon beating Thor, he tells you that a Mr. Ivan guards the gate to River City High. How kind of high school has a gate? But most importantly, we have the only contender to Merv Burger, Hack's Chicken Shack. Yeah, I didn't want to do the John Cena thing a third time. Oh, but look at those amenities. White meat, dark meat, chickwich, potatoes, corn, cobbers. You want to just drink a gravy boat? You can do that here, bitch. Also, smiles. Oh, look at that. Benny and Clyde are outside the bathhouse. Now that that's done, I can go inside for a nice, relaxing sauna. And yes, this is the moment that everybody wants to see. It's funny because he's naked. Barf indeed, Akbar. Return to your designated pooping street. Wow, for a video game review, I sure am making a lot of jokes about India's long-standing open defecation problem. Anyway, here's Ivan. I wrote Ivan as a 30-year-old ex-Spetsnaz who came to America and is posing as a high schooler for some reason. As such, I choose to interpret his dialogue in that fashion. You are a worthy opponent. Haha, see, the game actually intended for him to be stereotypical Russian man. Inside the school, you fight Otis, who raises a major stink about stains on the floor, so I assume he's the janitor, here to teach those damn whippersnappers how to behave. I didn't go to Vietnam so you little bastards could scuff up my floors. Beat him, climb on the basketball hoop to go upstairs, and you can fight Tex. He's another optional boss, which means I have to fight him. Also in the manual, he looks like a steroided up version of Calvin, and I find that amusing. Hey look, his name is Tex and he's talking about wagon wheels. Obviously quite proud of his Minnesotan heritage. Okay, finally, the twins. The Double Dragon music is playing, and I am so pumped to rescue that girl that I don't even know. Let's do this! Good night, everybody. Yeah, these guys are really tough. So finally you beat them, and then you fight Slick. And the strategy for him is pretty subtle. You run up to him and you hit him with a pipe about 20,000 times. And with that, the game is over. All the gang members become honor students, and Cindy gets to fulfill feminine stereotypes. And in that cavalcade of violence, rockabilly, and Hack's Chicken Shack, you can truly say that that is what high school is all about. Hi, I'm Larson Halleck, internet reviewer and international sex symbol. We had a lot of fun on today's episode, but you know what isn't fun is open defecation. Sure, we laugh about designated pooping streets, but open defecation is a serious problem in a developing world. It's not just an assault on your aesthetic sensibilities. Unattended piles of filth breed pathogens such as cholera and hookworm, as well as attracting flies, feral dogs, and other macrobiological pests. We can clean up the developing world, so please, use the toilet.